Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play of Professor Layton and the Curious Village. I'm Connor Khan, and I have a very special co-commentator with me this time. I shall be referring to him as Star Chaser 43, or probably just Star, throughout this Let's Play.
Hi everyone, and take his comment about a new Let's Play with a grain of salt. You see, we're making it now, and now it's new. We have no idea when you're going to be seeing this, or how many other Let's Play you see between when we make this and when you see it. But then that all gets kind of confusing, so actually let's just forget what I said and let's get started.
Let's get started. Now this is the second attempt we've had at this. The first attempt, my computer kinda didn't like the recording, so it got rid of it.
That's his story and he's sticking to it. Say, do you know what Professor Layton's name is spelled backwards?
Became a secret we would have to keep from everyone
Not A,
for the
not
rest
L.
of our lives. Because, you see...
And I apologize for some of the scratchiness of the voices or music.
Yeah, New Year's Eve was just the other night, and Scott hasn't had any sleep in 36 hours, so his voice may not be up to par.
Sometimes emulators just don't handle cutscenes very well.
Gee, he's just in the back seat and he had to mail him a letter.
Son, Professor, why are we going to help solve an inheritance dispute?
Luke, my boy, do you really think I would take on such an ordinary request as that? Oh no, this is an altogether unique and exciting situation, and it has piqued my intellectual curiosity. But I suppose it would be best to explain the case before we arrive at our destination.
Knowing the backstory before we get there. Great idea.
Baron Augustus Reinhold passed away. Shortly after his death, his will was disclosed. The contents of it were fascinating, to say the least. The Reinhold family treasure, the golden apple, is hidden somewhere within this village. To whomever successfully locates this treasure, I offer the whole of my estate. Naturally, those who attended the reading of the will immediately set out in search of the golden apple. But in the end, everybody came back empty-handed. It turns out that no one had even heard of such a treasure existing, until it's mentioned in the will.
Suspicious.
Wow, that's some puzzle, all right.
Quite. Augustus Reinhold staked his entire fortune just to create one more puzzle before his death. What a perplexing individual. I wish I could have met him while he was still alive.
So do I.
It certainly sounds like you two would have gotten along, Professor. By the way, just what is this golden apple anyhow?
Some speculate it's a rare antique, while others say it could be a gem, yet its identity remains elusive.
I still think it's a pub in the middle of town.
The feeling that this matter is linked
Certainly
to
not
some
an apple
larger
painted
mystery,
gold.
something huge.
Well, there are golden
Is
delicious
that your
apples.
famous intuition acting up again, Professor?
Somehow I don't think that's quite it.
Well, our first step is getting to town.
This is all so exciting. I hope Shakespeare is ready for the famous archaeologist and puzzle-solving detective, Herschel Layton.
Oh, Luke, you know as well as I do that I am no detective. Augustus Reinhold's wife, Lady Dahlia, has asked me to investigate the situation. It seems she came across my name by chance when reading an article about me in the papers.
So he is
And
famous.
you immediately decided to take her up on her request, huh?
Oh, well, Luke, a true gentleman never refuses the request of a beautiful lady.
She must have included her picture with her letter.
If
Must
you
have.
say so, Professor.
We should be nearing the town by now. Look at the map in the envelope and help me with directions.
You got it. What the... What's this?
Lady Dahlia seems to have given us a test. We'll need to decipher this map in order to find the village. She wants to see if we're capable of cracking the mystery surrounding the Reinhold fortune. Care to give it a go, Luke?
I'll do my best. A puzzle like this should be a snap for the apprentice of the great Professor Layton.
Very well then, Luke. I'll leave this one to you. Think of it as a warm-up for things to come.
That was more a mention to the players as much as it was to Luke.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about figuring this out, because Kona's about to do it for you. Isn't that the real reason that you're watching this anyway?
Anyway, this game is pretty much based entirely on puzzles, solving puzzles and word puzzles and all sorts of puzzles. You get the feeling puzzles are going to be a major factor of this.
As long as there's puzzles in here, I'll be happy.
The puzzle. My village is on a road that leads to no other towns. I look forward to seeing you there.
You've probably read that already.
Probably. So, it's fairly simple. We've got 3 different rows that we can check. Let's start with this one. This one leads to this town, continues on, leads to that town, and right there. So, those 2 towns, no, that doesn't work. This one leads to this town, all the way over and up to this town, and no other. So, that one don't work. This one, that doesn't lead anywhere. If we continue on, that end doesn't lead anywhere. But there's the town. It's the first puzzle of the game. Did you really expect them to give you a real brain teaser?
Layton's apprentice saves the day!
As you solve puzzles, you earn picarats. The more devious the puzzle, the more you can earn. But if you get the puzzle wrong, you lose. You don't get as many picarats as possible, down to a certain limit.
But you won't see any examples of getting the puzzles wrong in this Let's Play.
Well, we shall see.
There we go. Now we should be able to make our way to the village.
Right you are. We should see it on the horizon any moment now.
Don't you love optimists?
Huh? Professor, do you mean to say you already figured out the town's location?
I
I'm afraid
would
I
hope
couldn't
so.
help myself. A basic puzzle like that is easy enough to solve with a glance. Anyhow, you'd best gather your things, Luke. We've arrived.
And the title screen. And now we get to see Saint Mystère.
Boy, that was the Mad Architect's Tower, isn't it?
Very much so. That is one heck of a tower. Very interesting indeed. And the only way in is this drawbridge. Maybe he can help us.
Hey, I bet that's the next puzzle.
Tap on area to investigate. Not even the Layton mobile could make it across. Much as I adore the contraption, it is just a car. Such a lovely car.
I guess you can't drive under the water then.
Sadly, no. Well, let's talk to the man. Well, yes, actually. Certainly seems to be your only job. Still insults us, though. As much as I like a nice segue into a puzzle, The guy's only job is to raise and lower the freaking bridge. How can he forget which hole to put it in?
Segu? You mean Segway?
Thank you.
Segu.
Anyway.
This Let's Play brought to you by Segu and Star Chaser.
Now we got 3 different slots we can put them in. Here's our hand crank. You can change the angle. That's pretty much the only angle you really need. Start with, it has a pentagram base. Well,
they all have pentagrams. That doesn't help you.
So let's look at the triangle. It's on one flat side. Well, number 2 has the point on a point. So that's out. So that leaves 1 and 3. So let's take a look at the squares. One of the squares is on a flat side, and the other square is on a point. Well, one has one flat square on a point, one square on a flat side, so that must be it. Let's take a look at number 3. They're both on flat, so it's definitely number 1.
There we go.
This one does take a little bit more to look at, so that's why it's worth 15 pick rats instead of just 10.
You notice Professor Layton, for being a gentleman, doesn't know it's not polite to point? That'll become obvious as we continue to play.
Very much so. Okay then. He must be very strong in order to lower that thing. And raise it.
I still think all he had to do was cut the ropes and the bridge would have come down all by itself. Very little effort.
Maybe so. And to move around, you tap on the shoe and then tap on where to go.
You know, in some places you can get in trouble by throwing your shoes at various places and people.
Probably.
But this isn't one of them.
Nope. Well, we can either move around or we can talk to people. I like this guy. He has a funny name. Yes, we are new. He's Stetchin Scarfin. Try saying that 3 times fast.
I have starch in my scarf. I have starch in my scarf. I have starch in my scarf.
Close enough. Tap the barrel. This one? Yep. We find a hint coin. He's basically explaining that if we get stuck on a puzzle, we can use a hint coin.
But Conan's not going to get stuck on any of these puzzles. That's why you're going to find these Let's Plays so valuable. Do I get my money now?
We'll see. The way the hint coins work, you can spend up to 3 of them on a puzzle. The first hint is a very basic hint, and the next hint is a little more direct, and the third hint is pretty much telling you how to solve it. So as you just click around on the screen, hopefully you can find some. Let's talk to this person. Hello. Hello. A town where the local export are puzzles. And here she's explaining about pick-a-rats.
They say lovely things happen when you gather lots of pick-a-rats.
The reward for solving puzzles. Oh, by the way, your hat reminds me of a puzzle. Expect to see a lot of stuff like that. These 4 top hats are all the same height. The length is different.
All of the above. Oh, that's not a choice.
Nope. We have to find a hat where the brim and the height are exactly the same. And sadly, the only way to really do this is to pull out something like a ruler.
Or a piece of paper.
Piece of paper with your finger works just as well, I think.
Now, Kono would love to tell you where to take and place your finger, but he's not going to do that.
Unfortunately, I have now gotten my card somewhat stuck on the screen. This might take me a little while to figure out because I don't remember exactly the answer. And just... something is definitely not right here. Well... let's let Star have a chance at this.
1, 2, 3, almost 4. 1, 2, 3. Well, let's see. It's not C, it's not D, is it B?
1, 2, 3, 4. Height is 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like it's B.
We're going to try B. And if we're wrong, we're going to start all over again, and you'll never know.
And there's the failure animation.
I suppose I thought wrong.
Actually, we did that on purpose.
Because now we can show you what happens when you fail something.
Well, we just show them what happens when you fail something.
Yes. As you can see, the pick rats go down. If you get it wrong again, they go down to their lowest thing, and then you can just keep trying. Let's try C. That looks about right.
That should do it.
Nope.
I suppose I thought wrong.
And now it's as low as it's going to get. Well, we've got A and D left. Let's try D, just for the heck of it.
Just for the hat of it.
There we go. Nope.
Let's see, it is not B, it's not C, and it's not D. Plus the height is equal to the length of the brim.
At this point, we've only got one possible left.
Every puzzle has an answer.
A very famous optical illusion. I have no idea why. First time I had heard of it, honestly. Well, let's move on. Bravo! Yes, eventually we'll find the answer. But there are puzzles that can't be solved that way.
Now, we just discovered all this by ourselves. We really need her to tell us again.
No, not really. Is there anyone in the inn? Well, yes, but we need to be moving on. So let's click on the shoe and move forward.
Who's that person in the inn? Who's that person in the inn? Who's that person?
Shouldn't we be saving our game? Good point, Luke.
Anything to stop that singing!
And here they're explaining something. And I'll kinda go over it here in a second. Including the puzzle screen. And on the top screen, they give us a map! Not that it's all that hard to get lost here. And now we begin Chapter 1.
All that work and we're only starting Chapter 1?
Indeed.
I feel like singing again. Quick, get to the next puzzle.
Well, let's explore our trunk real quick. As you can see, we've got lots of options and half of them are grayed out. The journal is pretty much Professor Layton's journal. As written by him, you read it to get back up to speed if you've been away for a while. Gets kind of interesting after a while, I suppose. The mysteries are every mystery the game's going to have. Not necessarily something you'll solve, but will be solved in the storyline, including the golden apple.
They still don't know what the golden apple is.
No clue whatsoever. Though as you progress, this screen will be brought up to date a little bit more.
Hey, maybe the clue is no one has any clue. We should be talking to goats and sheep.
Moving on. Here's our puzzle index, where, as they say, you solve a puzzle and it shows up here. If you don't solve a puzzle, it shows up here, but you can't replay it. I suppose that's to mark your favorites. And then here we've got our save screen. These will open up as we progress. Well, 2 of them will. The 3rd one opens up after we finish the game. Let's talk to this man, and then we'll call it a recording session.
Oh, it's a recording session! Hello, my name is Percy.
Reinhold Manor? Over that way. You can't miss it. Before you go, here's a puzzle I came up with.
I'm gonna do my best so that you get confused and can't find the mansion.
Solve the puzzle, I'll tell you about the village. And get some picket rats out of it. Hey, 20, this one's kinda interesting, I guess. Find my house. Go out the front door of my place, turn left, at the first intersection come across, take a right. Turn right again, and you'll come face to face with the morning sun.
Actually, you have an important message waiting for you at home. We'll just follow you. That didn't work.
No. Well, there's 2 ways to go about this. You can try each and every single house until you wind up with one that you think is the right answer. Or, if you notice, you can only have the house that is the correct answer is going to be the only house facing in whatever direction it's facing.
All the houses face the direction they are facing.
These 2 houses both face south, so those can't be the correct answer. These 3 houses all face to the east, so those cannot be the correct answer. So that leaves this house and this house. So let's follow what he says. Go out the front door and turn left. So now he's going down this way. At the first intersection, take a right. So now he goes this way. Turn right again. You'll be face to face with the morning sun.
Which is in the north. No, it's not. It can't be that house.
So that leaves us this house. If you start with this house, exit the front door, take a left, take a right, and then another right. And the morning sun is in the east. So that must be his house.
Are you sure?
Well, we shall find out soon.
Yeah, it is kind of late to change your mind.
Yeah.
There he goes, pointing his finger at us again. I tell you.
Working backward gets the job done fastest.
Not in our case.
Kind of, I guess. Impressive! Now for the gossip. The Reinhold family owns all of the land this village is built upon. And all the buildings! The entire town pretty much just belongs to the Reinholds. So if we find that golden apple, just imagine how much money we can get. Well, later on he'll have another puzzle for us. Everybody has more puzzles for us. I think there's... Whoops. Looking for hand coins, found a clock tower. With another puzzle from Professor Layton. Puzzle number 5. 50 pick rats.
Oh no! This may be too much for us.
Imagine a digital clock. Like the one shown below. Ta-da! How many times will the clock display 3 or more of the same number over the course of one day?
3 or more of the same number in a row over the course of the same day. That might be important.
Oh, very important. In case you were wondering, the clock in the puzzle displays time on a 12-hour scale. So if we can figure it out for between 1 o'clock to 12 o'clock, then we can just double that and we'll get our answer. So let's start with 1 o'clock. Well, the only time that you would get 3 of the same number in a row for 1 o'clock would be 111.
And would the next be 222?
Why, yes it would.
Why, the answer seems to be 12.
One would think. However, let's get to 11 o'clock. Up until, let's see, you get up to 9 o'clock, you got 9, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, blah, blah. 10, about the only time there would be 10 o'clock where you have 3 zeros.
What about 7 o'clock?
Good point. 6 o'clock. Ignore that.
Ah, so this is devious. So we could have 5:55.
Yes, we can have 5:55, but 6 o'clock, 6:66, does not exist. 7 o'clock doesn't even have 7:77. So 1 through 5 only have 1. 6, 7, 8, and 9 o'clock don't have any. 10 o'clock, however, has, at 10 o'clock, 3 zeros.
You can count those?
Why, yes. Then when you get to 11 o'clock, 11:10 through all the way to 11:19 all count, because you have 3 ones there at the beginning.
If you listen very carefully between 11:10 and 11:19, the clock is counting them for you by going tick, 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 tick. You didn't know that, did you?
Nope. And then 12 o'clock only has 1 at 12:22. So how many do we have?
So, Professor, how do you add those up?
Well, let's see. We've got 5 from between 1 to 5, a 6 from 10 o'clock, another 10 from the 11 o'clocks. That gets us up to 16. And then 1 more to 17. And then it starts over again. So we have 2 sets of 17, which turn into
33!
34.
Shut up, you're not in this Let's Play. I'm sorry.
So our answer is 34.
Now, if it's only right.
Well, let's give it a try. It's fighting me on the answer. This must be right.
How does this sound?
Ta-da!
I did it! Yes!
A series of 3 or more of the same digit appears 34 times over the course of 24 hours. See the chart above for details. Yup! 111, 222, 333, 444, 555. Then the next one comes at 1111. 1222. Then 10 o'clock, and then 1110 through 1119. And that's just in 12 hours. 24 hour, you multiply it by 2. Many people forget about the combinations like 10 o'clock or 1112. First time I did that one, I did forget about those too. Well, with such a devious puzzle solved, I think it's time for us to take a break. We'll save this file and we'll be back for more later on.
And we hope you join us in the second installment of this Let's Play, whatever it is.
Indeed.
Let's Play Indeed.